A woman is entering a building when two people rip off her dress. They then start laughing and leave the woman without her dress there. A cleaning lady sees that and goes to help the woman. She then tells the woman that she would get something for her to wear. Meanwhile, the woman is left wondering what she was going to do with her interview. Soon the cleaning lady returns and hands the woman a dress. She thanks him and wears the dress. When she is finished, she thanks the cleaning lady again and hugs her. The cleaning lady then says that she must be late for the interview and that she should hurry up. Inside the building, the woman tells the examiner that she was a little late but asks her to let her join. The examiner then says that that was a serious place and the woman promises that if the examiner gives her a chance, she won't do that anymore. The examiner then says okay and tells her to sit down. The woman then sits down next to the other two candidates. The examiner then arrives and says that in front of each of them there were 15 pieces of Lego and that they had to assemble a cube with those 15 pieces. She then says that she would give the signal so they can start the test. She then proceeds to count down from 3 and when she's done she says they could start the test. They soon start trying to make the cube. Quickly they try to make those pieces fit together in order to build a cube with them. Meanwhile, the cleaning lady was outside watching everything. At a certain point, the man knocks his pieces of the woman to the ground. He then apologizes and says he didn't mean to do that. She then tells him to leave her alone and goes back to making her cube, but the other woman says she has no chance of getting that job. The cleaning lady then runs off. She enters the room and says that what they were doing was cheating. The other woman then tells her not to get involved in that matter and that she should go back to cleaning the floor. She says that when she became manager of that place, she was going to fire the cleaning lady. She then says that if she became a manager, she would quit as she wouldn't work for a person like her. At that moment, the examiner arrives and says that their time is up. The cleaning lady then says that she had something to talk to the examiner about, but the examiner says she doesn't want to talk to the cleaning lady. The examiner then starts looking at the result they got. She says that the two candidates each got 1 point, but the woman didn't get any points. The two then laugh and the woman is sad about it. The examiner then says that she would give them a 5-minute break and that she would be right back. The man then says that the woman couldn't assemble a simple cube and that she should give up that vacancy. The woman then says that the man had only managed to win because she had disturbed her. She then says that it was fine as she was going to get the spot. The other woman then laughs and says that she would not get the job as the job was already hers. She then says that the woman was accepting help from someone like the cleaning lady. Hearing this, the cleaning lady was going to hit the other woman, but the woman stops her. She then says she needed to speak to the cleaning lady. She tells him to rest assured that she had a plan. The man then says it was the wrong thing to do. The woman then returns to her seat and sits down. The man then pretends he was going to sneeze and ends up knocking all of the woman's pieces to the ground. Later, the examiner comes back and says that in the next phase of the interview she would assess the candidates' math skills. She says that this was a test on logical reasoning and that they were supposed to be prepared. She then says that it was the hardest test she had given in her career and that it was for the candidates to give the best answers they could. She then asks if they had any questions, but no one answers. She then says that they had 10 minutes to finish the test and reminds them that whoever managed to get a good result in that test, she would award a good amount. She then says that she would give the signal for them to begin. He starts a countdown from 3 and tells them to get started. Soon each of them takes a sheet for their evaluation. They then start taking the test, but the two candidates start trying to see what the woman was writing on her test. Meanwhile, the examiner was in her office counting the money. At that moment, the cleaning lady enters the room and says that she needed to talk to her. The examiner then tells her to sit down and asks what happened. The cleaning lady then says that she needed to talk to the examiner about something. Later, the other woman sees that the woman has finished her test and she takes the test from her. The man then says that the woman's proof was in need of something and tries to throw water on her, but at that moment, the cleaning lady arrives and says that they were acting like children. She tells the man not to do that, because that was a serious company. The man then says that it was none of the cleaning lady's business and that she was supposed to go wash the floor and calls her useless. The other woman then takes the glass of water and throws it into the woman's cup. The man then wishes the woman good luck and the three of them sit down. Later, the examiner arrives and says that their time is up and they are supposed to hand in their assessments. The two candidates hand in their assessments and the examiner asks where the woman's assessment was. The woman then delivers his review and thanks her. This leaves the two unaware of what was going on. Even the cleaning lady was not understanding what was going on. The examiner then says that now that she has the assessments she will be back with the results shortly. The man then gets up and rubs the paper on the woman's face. The cleaning lady then asks the woman how she had done that, as she had seen what had happened. The woman then says that she had a plan and that when she went to get her assessment, she had one sheet left over. She then says that she had answered one and saved it. The cleaning lady then says that the woman was very smart and that she was surprised. Later, the examiner returns and apologizes for her delay. She then says that she had the results of the assessments. She then says that the man who came last was the man, with 78 points. The second place went to another woman, with 85 points, and in first place was the woman, with 98 points. This leaves both of them very surprised. The examiner then says that the woman had gained 1 point and now the three were tied at 1 point each. She then says that the next phase would determine who would be the winner of that interview. She then asks the cleaning lady to hand her her briefcase. She then thanks him and says that as she had said before, that briefcase contained a good amount and that the winner would win that money. She then says that she needed to get organized for the next phase and leaves. At that moment, a thief enters and says that they were supposed to hand over everything they had. The examiner hands over the briefcase and he tells them to stop playing with him, because he knew that company had a lot of money. The examiner then says that that was all the money in the company and asks the thief to leave them alone. The thief then says that if they didn't hand over the money, he would hurt the cleaning lady. The examiner then tells the thief not to do that, because the company had many cameras and that the police would be there soon. The man then tells the thief to take it easy and that he knew that company had a lot of money and that he could help him look. The other woman then agrees and says that that company had a lot of money and that it was probably in a safe upstairs. The woman then tells the thief to calm down and says she had some money saved. She then asks him not to hurt anyone at that company and that she would hand over the money to him. The thief then asks if she was sure about that and she says yes. At that point, the examiner tells the thief that he had done a good job and tells him he could leave. He then removes his blindfold and leaves. The examiner then congratulates the woman on her attitude. She says that was the last stage of the interview and that she had passed. She then says that the woman was the company's new manager. The woman then thanks him and says that she had been very scared by that. The examiner then tells the two to leave the company and never come back. The man then says he didn't need a company that did that kind of crazy testing for their managers and walks away. The examiner then congratulates the woman on her attitude. She says the woman had character and was what she needed in her company. She says that the woman empathized with the cleaning lady and that showed that she was a good person. The woman then says that that money would make a lot of difference to her and appreciates the opportunity she was receiving at that company. She then says that it was a pleasure to have the woman in her company and says that she was very happy about it.